Welcome back, guys. It is Shadow Master here with another Dragon Ball Legends video. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a beginner's guide in 2025 for Dragon Ball Legends. Now, some people are just starting the game as I'm speaking right now. So I'm going to be doing a beginner's guide because obviously you do not know how to play the game yet. You do not know what to do. Obviously, the game teaches you what to do and stuff, but I want to give you guys a more detailed, beginner's guide or whatever. Even if you went through the tutorial, you still need some help. You can this video is for you. But you know, as somebody who obviously was a beginner, everybody starts off as a beginner. I'm going to give you guys some of the things that I did to improve in this game. Now, before I get into the guide, actually, guys, this is not an overnight thing. This is obviously going to take time. It could take from a year to 2 years, maybe even more, because this game, you really need to take some time. You really need to spend some time in this game to get very good at it. So, yeah, guys, without further ado, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get into the beginner's guide. So I'm going to be splitting this video into 5 parts, really. One part will be, each part will have certain things that I think you guys should do in order to get better in Dragon Ball Legends. So if you are a beginner, the first thing that you guys should really be doing is doing your story, because now here's the reason why you should be doing your story. Story mode is right now, if you're a beginner, the best way to get CC, because there's over 17 parts, 18 parts of the story, and if you're a beginner, you're probably on part 1 or part 2. So with that, you already have tons of parts you need to complete, plus story challenges, plus Z missions. So please do your story mode. This is a very, very great way to get CC. Because obviously CC is very crucial, whether you are a beginner, whether you are, less of a beginner, whether you are a veteran. Getting CC will always be a very important thing in this game. And if you are a beginner, you have more things to do to get CC. And story mode is the best way for you to get CC if you are a beginner. And again, because story mode, it's constantly getting more. I wouldn't say, it's constantly getting more parts or whatever. Not consistently, but constantly. Story mode is not ending right now, so we're going to be getting more and more parts. And if you're a beginner, well, you're just eating right now, because there's so many ways for you to get CC in story mode. It's not even funny. Like the CC from the first time clear, and also the challenges, and CC from the Z missions. It's just, and you also get, not even just from the Z missions, you also do get CC from the more Legends missions, right? Because I already finished all of it, but to unlock the more Legends missions, I can't really show it, but there'll probably be something at the, maybe at the top or whatever, that basically tells you to complete a certain amount of missions, and then you get this key or whatever, and then once you get that key, you can unlock maybe the more Legends missions, and then you are able to get the CC out of it. Now, to obtain the CC from the more Legends missions, you need to complete a certain amount of story mode challenges. Now, I think that alone already gives you thousands of CC, and it's also not. There's more. There's also a mission that gives you 200 Legends limited Z power and about 1,200 crystals if you complete certain parts of the story mode. So I believe if you complete part 5 and part 7, you get, I think if you complete part 5, part 7, and part 12, if I'm not mistaken, you will get rewards. I think part 5, you get 200 Legends limited Z power. Part 7, you get 500. And then part 12, you get 700 CC. But I could be wrong. I need to look back. So guys, if you are a beginner, please do your story mode. This is very important, because this is just free. This is just free thousands of CC. and you don't want to miss out on this because I mean story mode it stays here until the game ends. So you have a lot of time to complete it, but just don't wait to complete it because this is just very good way. This is just a very good way to get CC. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying complete the story mode and then spend everything on a trash banner. No, um, complete the story mode and then save your CC, which that's also going to be the second part of the guide. But story mode, this is a very good thing to do as a beginner. Now let's move on to the second thing that, in my opinion, you guys should be doing if you want to improve in this game. So another thing that the beginner should be doing right now is saving your CC and summoning on banners that are actually valuable. Now, what I mean by that is certain banners will have a very good character on it, but the side characters are actually pretty garbage. Now, the thing about banners is, even if you don't get the new character, you at least want to get some value out of that banner. So at least if you don't get, let's say, the Fusing Android 13, if you at least get somebody like Instant Transmission Goku or Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, at least you're getting some sort of value out of it. Like, they're not better than Android 13, but they are good. And they're still usable in PvP. So you want to summon on you want to summon on banners that are valuable even if you don't get the new character. And then saving CC is very important because there's two very huge celebrations in the year when it comes to Dragon Ball Legends. You have the anniversary and you have the festival, which those are the two most hyped celebrations. And the two celebrations that gives out the most CC, that has the most hyped characters, that has the highest value banners. So you definitely want to save your CC for those types of events. Now, here's when the celebrations usually start. So the anniversary usually starts and ends in the summer, but the anniversary starts late May and the festival starts late November. So part ones are usually like part one of the anniversary usually starts late May. Part 2 usually starts like mid-June, and then part 3 usually starts like mid-July. Now, when it comes to festivals, though, part 1 starts late November, part 2 starts like mid-December, and then part 2 starts mid-December, and then part 3 starts late December, close to New Year's. So yeah, guys, the second thing you guys should be doing is getting as much CC as you can and saving it for something that is very, very valuable, right? Now, as a beginner, pretty much anything is valuable because you're going to be going against weak players that has very bad characters. So at this point, really anything that came out from at least 2024 to now will be valuable. But as you progress more through the game is obviously going to get more difficult. And the more difficult it is, the more better characters you're going to need. And that is why you should really be saving your CC, because the best amount of CC for any festival or anniversary is always going to be 20,000 CC or higher. Unless they lower the rates, and it's obviously going to be more. But 20,000 CC or higher, that's the best amount of CC you should be at when it comes to, when it comes to any festival or anniversary. So this is the second thing that I think you guys should be doing to improve in the game. Now, let's move on to the third thing that I think you guys should be doing to improve or to become better in this game. So, actually, this video is going to be more than just 5 parts. There might be even 10 parts, but who knows? Because I want to make this beginner's guide a very, very important, detailed, precise guide. So the third thing I'm going to talk about is upgrading your characters. Now, obviously, as a beginner, you probably know how to upgrade your characters after watching, after say the tutorial or whatever. But they probably teach you to, go to upgrade, go to training, and then just pick a character, wait a certain amount of time, and then bada bing, bada boom, your character is at a certain level. A faster way to do this is if you have energy or if you have skip tickets. Go to upgrade, go to Super XP, choose any character that's not level 5,000. So let me take a team and let me just throw on any character that's not level 5,000. So, actually, better yet, let's not even do that. Let's just do hero characters. Because, oh, what about extremes? I'm sure there's a certain character that I have. Okay, let's do this EX Goku, right? So let's go. Let's say 25, right? That's about 50. That's about 50 energy and only 25 skip tickets. You skip this for a little bit, and then the magic happens. Now look, and your character should either be at 5,000 or close to 5,000. Now, you might be thinking, well, training kind of gives the exact same result. But the difference is you have to spend a lot more time upgrading your characters. When you could slap all of your level 1 characters on one team, skip the Super XP, and then get all of those characters to a high level, or the max level, which is level 5,000. So, and then that's only just getting your characters to a high level. Now we're going to talk about upgrading equipment. So the main resources that you need for upgrading equipment is slot removers, Zenny, and souls. Now, I'm going to take a certain equipment that I don't really care about. Let's take this equipment. So if you click on one, obviously the requirement is 30 slot removers, a certain amount of souls, and a certain amount of Zenny. Now, if you want to do the max, it's going to take you 30 slot removers, the max amount of souls you need, and the max amount of Zenny you need. Now, thanks to the update they did about a year ago, you are now able to choose if you want to make the equipment stop when it gets to an orange slot, or make the equipment stop upgrading when it gets to a red slot. I will recommend orange because at least you're getting it to a decently high slot. Instead of trying to aim for red very quickly, you're wasting more resources. At least orange, it might not be as good as red, but orange is still a very good slot, a very good color to have a certain slot in my opinion, especially if you're a beginner. So I must put stop at orange. Now, it might not just go to orange here, but as you can see, that's how you pretty much upgrade equipments. But so keep re-rolling that until you get it to a good slot. Now since you're a beginner, the main rank you want an equipment to be at is at least S or higher. So I would just say S, because getting it to Z and Z plus and stuff is going to require a lot of resources, which you don't have yet because you just started the game not too long ago. A beginner is like somebody who played this game for at least a month or less, or at least been playing this game for less than a year. I'll say that. So, that's how you can basically upgrade your characters. And then, if you want to do the extra stuff, you can art boost, but I wouldn't really recommend that because art boosting, it's really just to give your character some extra stats, but you don't really need to art boost anybody, because it doesn't really do that much for a character. Like, it obviously makes the character better, but it doesn't do like a whole bunch. Like, oh my gosh, since this character did 50% health with the special move card, so now if I get this character arts boosted, now it can just one shot him. It doesn't really work like that. Arts boost is just to give your character some extra stats that could potentially be useful in battle, but it doesn't help a tremendous amount. And you're wasting more resources too, just for the tiniest bit of an upgrade. So, in my opinion, just getting a character to a certain level and upgrading equipment are like the best ways to upgrade a character. I will do a more detailed guide on that probably in another video or later on in the video. But yeah, guys, so that's upgrading your characters. Now let's move on to the fourth thing. So we are going to be talking about team building. Now, since you're a beginner, you don't really have that much characters. But I'm gonna just give you guys an example of team building, right? You don't have to use the same characters because you probably don't have the same characters. I'm just giving you guys an example of what a team should look like. So, first off, if you want a team that can work amazingly well together, you go to character tag and you choose any one of these tags. Now, what I'm going to tell you is you need to use a tag that is actually useful in the meta. Now, as a beginner, it probably doesn't matter that much because you are competing with the top people in the game. You're mainly competing with people who also just started the game. So, I'm going to use Saiyans, right? Now, Saiyans, a lot of these Saiyans here actually buffs that tag. So, for example, I'm going to click on this UI Goku. You look at his Z ability, and he doesn't buff Saiyans. That's actually a bad example. Okay, let's take fusing super. Actually, yeah, let's take Ultra Turles. So Jesus Christ, is anybody buff Saiyans? Okay, fusing Super Vegito definitely has to buff Saiyans. Yeah, so as it says, plus 30% to Fusion Warrior and Saiyans. So that also reminds me of Z ability. So if you look at Z ability, these are the tags that certain characters buff. So what you want to do is slap them on the tags that they buff. So this character here buffs Fusion Warriors. You can put this character on a Fusion Warriors team. This character buffs Saiyans. You can put this character on a Saiyans team, and so on. You get the memo, right? So I'm gonna just slap this character on here because he's a Saiyan. He's gonna be very useful. Now you want to find some other characters who are also Saiyans or who are also gonna buff Saiyans. So I'm gonna take this character here. We're gonna look at his stuff. He buffs Majin Buu Saga, Sun Family, or Saiyans. So any character who buffs Saiyans on their Z ability will work well with another Saiyan who buffs Saiyans on Z ability, if that makes sense. So I'm going to slap this character on here, and then you want to take maybe one more Saiyan. So I'm going to choose, don't use these characters, by the way, because one, you probably don't have them, and two, these characters kind of suck right now. But to be fair, if you're a beginner, any character pretty much is good. So you know what? I'm going to take this character here. And if you look at the Z ability, this character buffs Saiyans. So because of that, this will be my final pick on here. And then this will be a team with good synergy because all of these characters here buff Saiyans. If you see what I'm going with this, right? So if I could put this in simpler terms, I guess. Basically, whatever tag a character buffs in their Z ability is going to be a tag they worked best on. So, for example, this character here buffs Saiyans. So Saiyans will be one of the best teams they'll work well on. And then find some other characters who also buff Saiyans, and then they'll synergize together, if that makes sense. So yeah, guys, that's team building, and that's figuring out how to make a good synergy team. A team that synergizes well together, a team that works well together, and can, support each other in a very good way. So that is the fourth thing. Now let's talk about the fifth thing that you guys should do. So this tip here is very obvious, but the fifth thing that you guys should be doing to improve and get better at this game is simply logging in every day, playing the game for a decent amount of time daily. Now, log in every day. It's not just to, play and improve like your gameplay or whatever. It's to really just know what's happening in the game. Now, obviously, Dragon Ball Legends will post stuff on their official Twitter accounts before the stuff actually comes out in the game. So you obviously could get information without logging on into the game. But let's say Dragon Ball Legends puts 1000 CC in, presence, and they do not mention that on Twitter. If you don't log in every day, you would not know that 1000 CC came with the gift box. Now, the difference is the 1000 CC, the thing is that anything that comes in the presents will probably last at least a month. So unless you're taking a month-long break from Dragon Ball Legends, um, you really shouldn't worry much about what's happening in the gift box. If you miss one day, because whatever comes out in the gift box, it stays in there for a month. But it's just good to log in every day because you get your daily rewards from logging in every day. Um, you get your well, let me repeat. You get your daily rewards for logging in every day, and since it's a whole new day, everything resets basically. Not your account, but like everything resets. So if you play PvP, you get a daily RP bonus. If you play any raids or co-ops, you get some limited time rewards, which resets every single daily reset. So logging in every day will always be a very beneficial thing because the more you play the game, the more you're going to benefit from it. Because usually after a certain amount of days you log onto the game, Legends will give you some sort of special reward. So let's say you log in the game for a week straight. Legends will probably give you 100 CC, maybe even more. Let's say you log in for 2 weeks. Legends will give you more Chrono Crystals. And then let's say you logged on for 3-4 weeks. You will get either something to get your characters to higher stars, or you'll just end up getting more Chrono Crystals. The point is, logging in every day in the game, you could get some rewards for that. And you will really get rewards from that, especially if there's a campaign or any special celebration going on, like anniversaries, Legends festivals, huge milestones, whatever the case may be. If you log on for a certain amount of days, you will benefit from it. So playing daily, please do that if you want to get better at this game. Because if you don't, you're missing out on some things for that first day. Because you'll be behind on a lot of things. You'll be behind on getting better rank in PvP. You'll be behind on getting certain CC that you could have grinded that day. So please log in every day if you want to get better. Because no matter what, playing any game daily, you will benefit from it. Because you're getting rewards and you're knowing what's happening in the game that day. So logging in every day is the fifth thing that you guys should be doing. Again, that's probably the most obvious one, because no matter what, if you want to get better at something, you got to do it daily. But let's move on to the sixth thing that you guys should do to get better at this game as a beginner. So the next thing that you guys should be doing to get better at this game, or at least do this to, benefit more from it, please collect your missions wisely. Do not, every time you complete story mode, because every battle, you're getting 10 CC from the Z missions. So do not complete 10 battles and then click and then get the CC. Now, the biggest mistake I've seen a lot of players make is collect all the CC from their missions and then instantly go into summons and throw away all their CC. Please do not do that. The issue with that is, unless you played a lot of story mode battles, you're not going to have that much CC in the Z missions. And then you spending all of it is also a bad thing, because usually you're probably playing 10 battles of story mode, then collecting your Z missions, and you probably won't even have 1,000 CC. And you just spending it like that, it's a problem, because now you have less CC now you wasted all that CC that you could have saved for something even better. So save your Z missions for a decently long time, and then once it's time to collect them, then collect it and see how much CC you will get. I promise you, it will be worth the wait. The wait will be worth it, because I've seen creators save up their Z missions for years, and once they collected it, it's over 5,000 plus CC. So please collect your Z missions wisely. Save your Z missions wisely. Do not instantly jump into summons if you collect your Z missions. Just save it, because trust me, it will be worth it at the end. Because if you just summon it for a character that's not that good, that'll be a waste of CC. And even if you do get the character, if the character sucks, then it's still a waste of Chrono Crystals. So please save your Z missions. If you do claim your Z missions, use the rewards, use the resources wisely, because those resources could be used for way better things. So yeah, collecting your Z missions or your missions in general wisely is what, the seventh thing? Was it the sixth? The sixth, no. The sixth thing that you guys should be doing, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, let's move on to the seventh thing. The exchange shop is a very, very good way for you guys to get resources. So as a beginner, and even as a veteran, resources will always be important. But I feel like resources are more important when it comes to a beginner because, I mean, obviously, your characters are going to be weak. Your equipments are going to be pretty bad. So when you get all the resources, now you're able to actually obtain better characters, better equipment, more slot movers, more zenny, more souls, more crystals. And that's why, getting more resources is very important. So exchange shop is more like a cheat code when it comes to getting those things. Because let's take this for example. This requires you to play tons of PvP to get these coins. So this basically gives you energy, skip tickets, slot removers. It gives you Z power equipment, and this is just all from one section. If you go to raid, you could get crystals, Z power, you get energy, skip tickets. You even get some Z power for Legends Limited, but you probably don't really get those until like you play the game for at least like a week or so. You could get some platinum coins, which I'll talk about what those can do after this. Some soul exchange medals, which you could get souls from, soul movers, and some zenny. So now let's talk about what the platinum coins can do. So the platinum coins could give you slot removers, it gives you energy, it gives you skip tickets, and it even gives you zenny. It also gives you some of these master pack tickets, which gives you a sparking. I wouldn't recommend spending some of these coins for these, because the biggest issue is that the sparkings on this banner, the sparkings on those ticket banners are absolute garbage. So I would not recommend getting the tickets, but I will recommend getting either the energy or the skip tickets or maybe even the slot movers. But that's pretty much it. And then equipment medals, it gives you equipment. And then Legends tickets. So Legends tickets, I'm telling you right now, it's going to take a lot of time to get these. And even then, I don't think it's worth it. To get Legends tickets, you have to summon on these things called Ultra Banners. Now, I can give you an example. This is an Ultra Banner. It has Ultra Rising, and each multi costs 1,000 crystals. And it comes with a freebie, and that freebie is 10 Legends tickets. Keep in mind, you have to get 1,000 Legends tickets to even get like a one copy of any of these Legends Limiteds. The problem is, nearly all of these Legends Limiteds are garbage. So it's really not worth it. But as a beginner, again, pretty much anything is worth it. So you might think any of these LFs are going to be, useful. But the thing is, probably after you get 1,000 Legends tickets, you're probably already going to be close to being a veteran, probably. But yeah. So go use the exchange shop. Please take full advantage of the exchange shop, because certain things here are permanent, but certain things here are limited. So you definitely want to aim for more of the limited stuff before you decide to go to the things that stays here basically until the game ends. So exchange shop is definitely going to be another thing that you guys should be doing to become, better at, the game in 2025. So now we're going to move on to the, ninth tip. So I pretty much already talked about this, and I was talking about, collecting your Z missions and then instantly going into summons. But summon on characters that are going to be beneficial to your team. So let's say your main team is Android, or Android is a team you really want to use. This banner here will be very valuable because this banner is basically Androids, right? You could get, the new Android 13, the new Android 14 and 15, and then obviously you could get Gamma 1 and 2, which are very good right now because they just got their new equipment. Yeah, getting any of these characters will be valuable if you are planning to run the team that they basically buff, which they buff androids. So if you're planning on using androids, then summon on this banner. If you're planning on using GT, summon on this banner. And if you plan for some reason to use Universal Rep, I actually wouldn't even recommend summoning on this banner. But my point is, if you are planning to run any team, summon on characters that will be a huge addition. That will be a very valuable character to the team that you want to run. So yeah, let's move on to the final thing that you guys should be doing to get better at becoming a beginner. So really the final thing that you guys can do to become better at the game is really just to watch guides. I mean, pretty it's pretty self-explanatory. Watch guides to get better at the game, like the one I'm making right now. It's funny how I'm telling you guys to watch guides on a guide. So yeah, but watching videos on how to get better at the game, it's a very good way to get better. Obviously, some guides might not give you a lot of detail, but there are also some guides that gives you a very good amount of detail. So watch those guides, and then if they actually help you, then at least you'll know that you probably need to start watching more. But yeah, guys, so let me know in the comments, are you guys a beginner? And also let me know in the comments, what team do you guys want to run in PvP? But yeah, guys, so if you guys want to see more guides, please subscribe. We're on this road to 500 subscribers. Hopefully we could get there before the end of the year. But yeah, guys, so that's the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one, guys, and peace.